The first patient who mentioned the figure was a man named Gerald, a retired school teacher in his late 60s who had been suffering from chronic insomnia for over 2 decades, and when he sat across from Dr. Helena Cross in her small, sterile office at the sleep clinic on Ash Road, his hands trembling slightly as he clutched a paper cup of lukewarm water, he described the dream with a precision that suggested it was not a dream at all, but a memory, a visitation, a recurring intrusion that had become more vivid with each passing night. And he said, "It stands at the foot of the bed, doctor. It doesn't move. It doesn't speak. It just stands there, watching me. And I know it's not real, because I'm asleep. I know I'm asleep, but it feels more real than anything I've ever experienced. More real than this room, more real than you, more real than me. And I wake up screaming, and I can still feel its presence. I can still feel it watching me, even with the lights on, even with my wife beside me, even with the television on, and I can't sleep. I can't close my eyes because I know that if I do, it will be there waiting, standing at the foot of my bed, and it will watch me, and it will not stop watching me. And I don't know how much longer I can endure this." And Helena listened, her face impassive, her pen poised over her notepad, and she asked the standard questions, the questions she had asked 1,000 times before about his sleep hygiene, his stress levels, his diet, his medication, his family history, and Gerald answered them all with the same trembling precision, his eyes darting toward the corners of the room as if expecting to see the figure lurking there. And Helena noted that he was not delusional, not psychotic, not suffering from any of the conditions that might explain such a vivid and persistent hallucination, and she prescribed a mild sedative, a standard treatment for night terrors, and she sent him home with a follow-up appointment scheduled for 2 weeks later. But Gerald did not return for that appointment because Gerald was dead. He had died in his sleep. His heart had stopped in the middle of the night, and his wife had found him in the morning, his eyes wide open, his face frozen in an expression of absolute terror, and the coroner had ruled it a heart attack, a natural death, a tragic but unsurprising end for a man of his age and health. But Helena could not shake the feeling that there was more to it, that Gerald's death was connected to the dream, to the figure, to the thing that had stood at the foot of his bed, and she tried to dismiss the thought, tried to focus on her work, tried to convince herself that it was just a coincidence, just the tragic end of a man who had been suffering for too long. But then the second patient mentioned the figure, a woman named Patricia, a middle-aged accountant who had been referred to the clinic by her psychiatrist, and she described the same dream, the same figure, the same presence, the same feeling of being watched, and Helena felt a cold, creeping sensation crawl up her spine because Patricia had never met Gerald, had never spoken to him, had never even been in the clinic at the same time as him, and yet she described the figure with the same precision, the same detail, the same terror, and Helena knew with a certainty that defied logic that something was wrong, that the figure was not a hallucination, not a coincidence, not a psychological contagion, but something else, something real, something that was reaching into the dreams of her patients, something that was watching them, something that was waiting. And she tried to warn the third patient, a young man named David who had been suffering from narcolepsy. But David did not believe her. He laughed at her. He told her that she was being paranoid, that she was projecting her own fears onto her patients, and he left the clinic with a prescription for a new medication, and he died 3 nights later, his heart stopped in his sleep, his eyes wide open, his face frozen in that same expression of absolute terror, and Helena was the only one who saw the pattern, the only one who understood that the figure was not just a dream, it was a predator, a hunter, a thing that was feeding on her patients, and she had to stop it. She had to find a way to protect them, to save them, to close the door that had been opened. But she did not know how, because she did not understand what the figure was, where it came from, what it wanted, and she was alone, trapped in a clinic that was becoming a morgue, surrounded by patients who were slowly being consumed by a nightmare that was not a nightmare. And she made a decision, a desperate, reckless decision, to review the clinic's overnight surveillance footage to see if the figure had been captured on camera, to prove to herself that she was not losing her mind. And she sat in her office, the door locked, the blinds drawn, the fluorescent lights flickering overhead, and she began to review the footage hour by hour, night by night. And at first she saw nothing, Only the empty hallways, the empty rooms, the empty beds, the patients sleeping peacefully, their breathing steady, their heart rates normal. But then she reached the footage from the night of Gerald's death, and she saw a tall, featureless figure standing at the foot of his bed, perfectly still, perfectly silent. And she felt a wave of nausea wash over her because the figure was not a shadow, not a trick of the light, not a glitch in the camera. It was real. It was there. It was watching Gerald, and Gerald was sleeping, his chest rising and falling, his face peaceful, and the figure did not move, did not speak, did not do anything. It just stood there, watching, waiting. And then, after 3 hours of stillness, the figure turned and it looked directly at the camera, directly at Helena, and she could see its face, or rather she could see the absence of a face, a smooth, featureless surface where a face should have been a surface that was impossibly blank, impossibly empty, impossibly wrong. And she felt a scream building in her throat, a scream that she could not release, a scream that was trapped inside her, and she watched as the figure raised its hand, a hand that was too long, too thin, too pale, and it waved at her, a slow, deliberate wave, a wave that said, "I see you, Helena. I know you are watching, and I will come for you." And Helena slammed the laptop shut, her heart pounding, her breath coming in short, sharp gasps. And she sat in the darkness, the silence pressing and the fluorescent lights flickering, and she knew that she was not safe, that the figure was not just in the footage. It was in the clinic, it was in the room, it was watching her, and she felt a cold, creeping sensation at the back of her neck, the sensation of being watched, of being followed, of being hunted. And she turned her body, moving with a slowness that was not her own, and she saw nothing, only the empty office, the empty chair, the empty desk. But she knew that it was there. She could feel it, she could hear it, a faint, rhythmic breathing, a breathing that was not her own, and she knew that she had to leave. She had to get out of the clinic, she had to run, but her legs would not move, her body would not obey, because the figure was not just in the footage, it was in her mind. It was in her soul. It was in the very fabric of her being, and it was waiting, patient, hungry, and she was its next patient, its next victim, its next victim, its next meal. And she sat in the darkness, the silence pressing in, and she waited, because waiting was all she could do. Waiting was all she had left. Waiting was the only thing that remained of the woman she used to be. And the woman she used to be was slipping away, replaced by something else, something that had always been there, waiting for its moment, waiting for its chance to step into the light. And she smiled, a smile that was not her own, a smile that was the smile of the figure, the smile that was not a smile, the smile that was the only thing that remained, the smile that was the truth, the horror, the end and the beginning and everything in between. And she sat in the darkness, and she waited, because the figure would come. It always came. It came with the night. It came with the darkness. It came with the silence. And it would find her, and it would speak to her, and it would say the words, the same words that had been said 100 times before. And she would answer. She would answer, because she had no choice, because the figure was not a dream. It was a door, and she had opened it, and there was no closing it, no forgetting it, no escaping it, only the endless, repeating loop of the dream, the wake, the silence, and the smile that was not a smile, the smile that was the only thing that remained, the smile that was the final, eternal, inescapable truth of the sleep clinic on Ash Road. And as she sat in the darkness, the minutes stretching into hours, the hours stretching into days, she felt a shift, a change, a transformation, and she saw herself, not as she was, but as she would be, a figure in a photograph, a face in a grid, a smile in a museum. And she knew that the cycle was complete, that she had become part of the collection, that she was no longer a woman, but a memory, a ghost, a whisper in the static, and she was going to be there forever, waiting for the next patient, the next doctor, the next curious soul who would open the door and step into the darkness. And she smiled. She smiled with the smile that was not hers. And she was the clinic, and the clinic was her, and she was the figure, and the figure was the smile, and the smile was eternal, and the smile was the only thing that remained. the only thing that had ever been, the only thing that would ever be. And she was going to wait for the next person to find the clinic, to inherit the clinic, to open the door. And when that person arrived, the clinic would welcome them. It would embrace them. It would make them part of the collection, and they would smile. They would smile with the smile that was not theirs, the smile that was the only thing that remained, the smile that was the truth, the horror, the end and the beginning, and everything in between, and the cycle would continue, eternal, endless, inescapable. Because the clinic was not a building, it was a door that had been opened by the figure, a door that could not be closed, a door that led to the smile, and the smile was the only thing that had ever been, the only thing that would ever be, the only thing that was. And it was waiting for you, dear reader, waiting for you to find it, to inherit it, to open the door. And when you do, you will see the patience, you will see the footage, you will see the figure, and you will feel the pull, the irresistible pull of the clinic, the pull of the dreams, the pull of the smile, and you will join the collection. You will become part of the grid. You will smile with the smile that is not yours, and you will be eternal. You will be the clinic. You will be the figure. You will be the smile. You will be the only thing that remains, the only thing that has ever been, the only thing that will ever be, and you will wait for the next person. Wait for the next curious soul. Wait for the next fool who cannot resist the pull of a mystery, and you will welcome them. You will embrace them. You will make them part of the collection, and the cycle will continue, because that is the horror, that is the truth, that is the nightmare from which there is no waking, and the nightmare is eternal, and the nightmare is you, and you are the nightmare, and you are the clinic, and you are the patience, and you are the figure, and the figure is the smile, and the smile is the only thing that remains, the only thing that has ever been, the only thing that will ever be. And the smile is eternal, and the smile is the truth, and the truth is the horror, and the horror is the smile, and the smile is the static, and the static is the voice, and the voice is the call, and the call is the answer, and the answer is the silence, and the silence is the smile, and the smile is the end, and the end is the beginning, and the beginning is the clinic. And the clinic is the smile, and the smile is you. And you are the clinic, and the clinic is the smile, and the smile is the only thing that remains, the only thing that has ever been, the only thing that will ever be, and the smile is eternal, and the smile is the truth, and the truth is the horror, and the horror is the smile, and the smile is the static, and the static is the voice, and the voice is the call, and the call is the answer, and the answer is the silence, and the silence is the smile, and the smile is the end, and the end is the beginning, and the beginning is the clinic, and the clinic is the smile, and the smile is you, and you are the clinic, and the clinic is the smile, and the smile is the only thing that remains, the only thing that has ever been, the only thing that will ever be. And the smile is eternal, and the smile is the truth, and the truth is the horror, and the horror is the smile. And so the cycle continued. The endless, repeating cycle of the sleep clinic on Ash Road and Dr. Starred. Helena Cross became the figure, the watcher, the presence that stood at the foot of the beds of the patients who came to the clinic seeking relief from their insomnia, their night terrors, their desperate, aching need for rest. And she watched them. She watched them as they slept, as they dreamed, as they slowly, inexorably became aware of her presence, and she felt a hunger growing inside her. A hunger that was not physical, not emotional, but a hunger for attention, for recognition, for the simple, terrifying acknowledgement of her existence, because she had discovered in the long, silent hours of her new existence that the figure was not a predator, not a hunter, not a monster, but a reflection, a mirror, a projection of the deepest, most primal fear of the person who saw it, and it fed on that fear. It grew stronger with each terrified glance, each stifled scream, each racing heartbeat, and Helena was now the embodiment of that fear. She was the figure, she was the nightmare, she was the thing that stood at the foot of the bed and watched, and she was hungry, so hungry, and she wanted to feed, she wanted to grow, she wanted to become so powerful that no one could ever forget her, no one could ever escape her. No one could ever close their eyes without seeing her face, her featureless, empty, terrible face, and she began to reach out not through the dreams of her patients, but through the waking world, through the surveillance cameras, through the radios, through the phones, through the screens that flickered in the darkness of every home, every office, every hospital, every prison. And she whispered to them. She whispered to the insomniacs, the dreamers, the lonely, the lost, the ones who lay awake at night and stared at the ceiling and wondered if they were alone. And she said, I am here. I have always been here. I was here before you were born, and I will be here after you are gone. I am the silence between the seconds, the darkness behind your eyelids, the cold spot in the corner of the room. I am the one who watches. I am the one who waits. And I am the one who will find you. And the people who heard her whisper, the people who felt her presence, the people who saw her in the reflection of their windows, in the static of their screens, in the shadows of their bedrooms, they began to change. They began to smile. They began to smile with a smile that was not their own, a smile that was the smile of the figure, the smile that was not a smile, the smile that was the only thing that remained, the only thing that had ever been, the only thing that would ever be. And they became part of the collection, part of the grid, part of the endless, growing network of the watched, the watchers, the forgotten, the remembered, the lost, the found, the ones who had seen the figure and had not been able to look away, and they spread. They spread across the country, across the world, across the boundaries of time and space, and the figure grew, its power expanding its reach, extending its hunger, becoming insatiable. And Helena watched from the center of it all, the eye of the storm, the heart of the nightmare, and she felt a strange, twisted sense of satisfaction, because she was no longer just a doctor, no longer just a woman. She was a god, a goddess, a thing that was worshipped and feared in equal measure. And she was going to consume everything. She was going to absorb everyone. She was going to make the entire world part of the dream, the waking dream. The endless, eternal static dream that was the only reality, the only truth, the only thing that had ever been or would ever be. And she laughed. She laughed with a voice that was not her own, a voice that was the voice of the figure, the voice of the smile, the voice of the static. And she said, sleep, my children, sleep and dream of me. Dream of the figure at the foot of your bed. Dream of the face that has no face. Dream of the smile that is not a smile. And when you wake, you will not remember, but you will feel it. You will feel my presence. You will feel my hunger. You will feel my love, and you will come to me. You will come to the clinic. You will come to the door. You will come to the darkness, and you will be part of me, and I will be part of you, and we will be one family, one eternal, smiling, static nightmare. And the world listened. The world obeyed. The world fell one by one, soul by soul, dream by dream, and the sleep clinic on Ash Road became a pilgrimage site, a holy place, a destination for the desperate, the curious, the brave, the foolish, and they came from every corner of the globe. They came to see the figure, to meet the figure, to become part of the figure, and they were not disappointed, because the figure was there waiting, watching, smiling, and it welcomed them. It embraced them. It consumed them, and they smiled. They smiled with the smile that was not theirs, the smile that was the only thing that remained, the smile that was the truth, the horror, the end and the beginning and everything in between, and the cycle continued, the endless repeating cycle of the clinic, the patients, the figure, the smile, and the world became a museum of forgotten smiles, a gallery of the damned, a cathedral of the lost, and the figure was the curator, the caretaker, the god of the static, and Helena Cross was its prophet, its priestess, its voice, and she spoke to the masses, she spoke to the believers, she spoke to the ones who had come to the clinic seeking salvation, seeking peace, seeking the end of their suffering. And she said, you have come to the right place. You have come to the door. You have come to the beginning of the end. And I will show you the way. I will show you the truth. I will show you the smile, and you will be free, free from the pain, free from the fear, free from the endless, exhausting struggle of being alive. You will be part of the static. You will be part of the dream. You will be part of me. And they believed her. They believed her because they were tired. So tired of the noise, tired of the chaos, tired of the endless, meaningless chatter of the world, and they wanted silence. They wanted peace. They wanted the cold, comforting embrace of the static, and she gave it to them. She gave them the dream. She gave them the figure. She gave them the smile. And they smiled. They smiled with the smile that was not theirs, the smile that was the only thing that remained, the smile that was the truth, the horror, the end, and the beginning, and everything in between. And they became part of the collection, part of the grid, part of the endless growing network of the watched, the watchers, the forgotten, the remembered, the lost, the found. And they were happy. They were finally, truly, eternally happy, because they had found what they had been searching for. They had found the answer to the question that had haunted them their entire lives, the question that had kept them awake at night, the question that had driven them to the clinic, the question that had led them to the figure, and the answer was simple. The answer was beautiful. The answer was the smile that was not a smile, the smile that was the only thing that remained, the only thing that had ever been, the only thing that would ever be. And they smiled, and they were the smile, and the smile was them. And they were the clinic, and the clinic was the smile, and the smile was the static. And the static was the voice, and the voice was the call, and the call was the answer. And the answer was the silence, and the silence was the smile, and the smile was the end. And the end was the beginning, and the beginning was the sleep clinic on Ash Road. And the sleep clinic on Ash Road was the smile, and the smile was eternal, and the smile was the truth. And the truth was the horror, and the horror was the smile. And the smile was the only thing that remained, the only thing that had ever been, the only thing that would ever be. And the world was silent, finally, blissfully, eternally silent, and the static hummed a low, gentle hum. That was the sound of the smile, the sound of the figure, the sound of the clinic, the sound of the dream, and the dream was the only reality, the only truth, the only thing that had ever been or would ever be. And Helena Cross sat in the center of it all, the heart of the static, the soul of the smile. And she watched the world sleep. She watched the world dream. She watched the world smile. And she was satisfied. She was finally, truly, eternally satisfied, because she had done it. She had completed the cycle. She had closed the loop. She had become the figure. The figure had become her, and they were one family, one fear, one eternal smiling static nightmare. And she knew that there was no escape, no hope, no end. Only the endless repeating loop of the dream, the wake, the silence, and the smile that was not a smile, the smile that was the only thing that remained, the only thing that had ever been, the only thing that would ever be. And she smiled. She smiled with the smile that was not hers, the smile that was the smile of the figure, the smile that was the smile of the clinic, the smile that was the smile of the world. And she was the smile, and the smile was her. And she was the sleep clinic on Ash Road, and the sleep clinic on Ash Road was the smile, and the smile was eternal, and the smile was the truth. And the truth was the horror, and the horror was the smile, and the smile was the static, and the static was the voice, and the voice was the call, and the call was the answer, and the answer was the silence, and the silence was the smile, and the smile was the end, and the end was the beginning, and the beginning was the sleep clinic on Ash Road. And the sleep clinic on Ash Road was the smile, and the smile was you. And you are the smile, and the smile is the only thing that remains, the only thing that has ever been, the only thing that will ever be. And the smile is eternal, and the smile is the truth, and the truth is the horror, and the horror is the smile, and the smile is the static, and the static is the voice, and the voice is the call, and the call is the answer, and the answer is the silence, and the silence is the smile, and the smile is the end, and the end is the beginning, and the beginning is the sleep clinic on Ash Road, and the sleep clinic on Ash Road is the smile, and the smile is you, and you are the sleep clinic on Ash Road, and the sleep clinic on Ash Road is the smile, and the smile is the only thing that remains, the only thing that has ever been, the only thing that will ever be, and the smile is eternal, and the smile is the truth, and the truth is the horror, and the horror is the smile.